Good morning. All right. I was supposed to have done this weekend and I never got around to it. All right. So, what I thought we might do is I think we'll just go back over. I think you have a really good foundation. I think you're doing fine on your math, but I just need to make sure. I don't want to keep moving forward because if there's any skill, any little tiny math skill that you don't get, you don't master it, and we move on, you're just going to be messed up from here on out. And I don't want that to happen. So let's just spend some more time on this. I know sometimes it feels like you might be spinning your wheels, but you're not. You are doing well. Okay. I was under the impression that whenever I received online one of your pages and I went in and made corrections and sent it back, I was under the impression that you could see my comments on there. Well, now y'all informed me that that is not the case. So I've got all these pages that I've graded and I sent them back with messages and you were not able to see them. So what we're going to do is this will go for you're going back over the stuff that you missed as well as extra credit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to June the 29th, okay? And what you turned in. Now, these are the things that have been returned that I returned to you. So what we're going to do, see, here's all my notes. And I have up here that on the settings that it's supposed to be shared with y'all and you're supposed to be able to see the notes. So I'm not sure why you can't see the notes, but nonetheless, I'll start adding it as a private comment over here, which I've been doing. Okay, so basically, I don't know how well you can see this on your screen, but what I did was, this was worksheet 6.5. I know you're in 8 right now, but I'd like to go back over 6.5 because there were too many places that you put a question mark, like right here. And some of those places that you put a question mark, you actually got it right. Some of those places you didn't put an answer, which that makes me think that you just didn't know what to do, of course. So, and even here. So I want to go back over those. So with that being said, if you want to take out in your book, if you want to look at worksheet 6.5 in your book, then what we will do, let me find mine, 6.5, okay. So worksheet 6.5, all the top part on number 1, you got right. That was division of fractions. You got that right. You just change it to multiplication and flip the second number upside down. That's all you do. Number 2, you got that right. So number 3, you missed. Okay, and you, well, I mean, you didn't miss it. You put a question mark. You didn't know. Okay, so the first square here is basically how this is done. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this on the screen and I'm just going to let you pause the screen and look over all of these things and look over the messages that I left for those sections, and they're in order, like the first one's for this one was for this one's for this one, and that kind of thing. So I'd like for you to do that and see if you can go through and fix those, okay? Now, on most of them, I think I actually gave you the answers, and that's okay. But I just want you to do this on 6.5. Now, there's a few worksheets that I'm going to have you just redo those ones that you missed without me telling you. And those are what we're going to count for adding as grades in to try to get boost your grade up a little bit. So if you want to go ahead and pause this, and kind of go over this, then I'm going to pause mine as well so that it'll be paused on both screens. So go ahead and pause it and see if you can go. I hope you can see this okay. But if you can't, you can at least maybe see what you missed on section 6.5. Okay, so see if you can kind of go through there and get those fixed and then turn it back on. Okay, I hope you took some time. I hope you could see those things. If you couldn't, you'll just have to message me and let me know. So that was 6.5. So let me go. Now we're going to look at, that was June 29th. Now something you turned in June 30th. Let's see what you did on this one. On this one, you just had a few errors. Okay, this is worksheet 6.6. There's 3 things on here, so we'll just go over this one. So worksheet 6.6 on 2C, it says, what's the greatest common factor for 24 and 89 after you expressed those out? Okay, they have none in common. I know you want to put 1, but 1 is never considered in common. And the reason why is because every number has 1. So when they say, you know, what they have in common, don't ever put 1 because 1 kind of goes for everything. So 0 and 1 are out. So anything else would be considered. All right, and then on number 4 was under division. The answer on this one should be $650 per 6 months. It's written as a ratio, it says. So number 4 says use a fraction to represent. Yeah, that's what it was. Your answer was not written in fraction form. Use a fraction to represent what needs to be done to solve this word problem. Do not solve it, just write the fraction. So if you pay $650 every 6 months in car insurance, how much does it cost you each month for car insurance? I think you may have solved the problem. So your answer would just be written as a ratio, as a fraction, 650 over 6. All right, and then on 6D, oh, okay, it was just checking it. Okay. Anyway, you got it right. You didn't miss anything, but your answer up here in the word problem was correct. When it says to check it, it just basically means to go back and take your initial equation, whatever the equation was that you wrote down that you knew, okay, this is how I'm going to figure it out. Okay, rewrite that and then put in those numbers that you got as your answers to see if everything evens out. Okay, it's not just 100% necessary that you do that, but that's how they want you to check that. So anyway, all right, and then we're just going to do a couple more today. I don't want to do a whole lot. Okay, this one you got 13. Oh, I think this one was, okay, yes, this one was your test 1. And I initially graded it 11 out of 18, which gave you, this is how we figure the grade. This, when you see your grade and it says 11/18 or 13/18, what that means is that there were 18 total and the other number is how many you got right. It's a ratio. So first, before you turned in the correct check stub, because remember you had the wrong check stub, it's kind of got mixed up. But anyway, you've turned it in since then and everything was right. So I gave you 2 extra points on this test. So initially, there were 18 problems on the test, and initially you only got 11 right. So to figure your letter grade, you would say 11 divided by 18, and then move the decimal 2 places, and your grade was a 61. Now, I've changed it. Since you turned in your check stub, I went ahead and gave you 2 more points, so it's 13 divided by 18. So your new grade on test 1 is a 72.2. I just round that to be a 72. So that's how we figure your grade. So when you see these things, don't get confused by them. It's just how the grading system takes your grades in. But that's how it figures it whenever we do the report card. And it figures it itself. So, okay, so this is what I think I'd like for you to do. Let's end today on test 1. Let's see. I'm going to have to go back over and tell you which ones you missed. I don't want to give you, I don't want to give you all the answers. Okay, so without looking here, don't look at the answers. Get a sheet of paper out right quick, and I will tell you, and just jot up there test 1, and let me tell you the problems I want you to redo. Okay? All right. Redo. Let me get over to the test so I can look at it and see. D. Okay. 1D, think you missed 1D, but yes, redo 1D, redo 2A. Actually, you didn't do 2A, so try it. You just left it blank, but just try it because you never know. You may look at that and go, oh, I can't do that, but just try it. I think you may have the same issue that my daughter Addie has. She sees a word problem and says, I can't do it because it's a word problem, and without even reading it. And then oftentimes I'll go through it with her and she's like, I could do that. So just give it a whirl. If you get some crazy wrong answer, it's okay. Just do it. Just try it. So try 2A. Okay, your checkbook you did. All right, and then do 4E. Do 5B. 5E. And 5F. Okay. Okay. All right, I hope you got all those. I hope you didn't see if you saw the answers, okay, but maybe you'll know how to get the answers. So why don't you go ahead, we'll stop right here today and let you just go ahead and do redo those on test 1. Actually, I mean, if you even want to, you can just retake the whole test if you want to, but you don't have to. And you don't have to do the check register because that's done and you did that fine. But if you wanted to do the others, just redo it, you can. But those that I gave you, those are just simply the ones that you missed or the one that you didn't do. So why don't you go ahead and do that and then turn those in and just label it, like when you turn it in, label your paper test 1 corrections. That way I'll know what it is. And then I can go in and I can add to your grade and that will help. Okay, so I'll try to do another video for some of these other papers that you missed on some and let you redo some of those. Actually, I may not even do a video. I may just send you a message, hey, redo this worksheet numbers, blah, 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 and just see if you can redo those, okay? All right, I guess that then will be all for today. Now listen, if you run into trouble and you need help, either go back and watch the video that's on Google Classroom or just message me. And I know sometimes I can't get right to it, but I'm going to try to do it just as soon as I can, okay? But let me know for sure, all right? All right, that's all for today. Yeah!